What would it take to actually be in a freaking gunfight in that scenario? 300 meters to the IHOP. So we'll cheat, right? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. 421 meters. You can imagine trying to find an 8x8 target that's not directly behind a piece of cover. Okay, let's get out and shoot some shit. So in an earlier video, I discussed, no, try again. I argued, closer, but try just one more time. Nay, I demonstrated, now you're talking, that a effective SHTF battle rifle is not something that needs to cost a ton of money, and it's something that probably needs to be more effective at close ranges than medium or long range shots. Stoke, it's not that you're wrong, but you're wrong, because all the high speed, low drag, Gucci special forces operators out there tell me on their YouTube channels that I need to be able to reach out and touch somebody. And doesn't it make sense that you can run fast, but you're only gonna die tired? It briefs well, but does it actually work? And so we demonstrated that at least where I'm at, out in the country in the southeastern United States, on the heel of Appalachia, that I can't identify a target beyond much past 50 meters. Therefore, I argued and demonstrated and discussed that close range is probably where it's at. And I think history would show us that exact same thing. But let's say that you don't live in the hills of Appalachia. Maybe you live in an urban environment. And so you said, you know, when I walk out, I can see so far away. So let's take it to the city and see what we can find. Let's go paint some targets. So sitting here at a medical park, looking out at the other building down here. 176 meters. All kinds of space, right? All kinds of room for long distance shots. So let's take a look and see how far these buildings are, as far away as we can see. Down to the IHOP, 300 meters to the IHOP. Got a apartment complex over here, 200 meters. Got some kind of a restaurant, a brown restaurant out in front of us. The Longhorn. 330 meters. So all the way to the complex on the other side with a little blue strip, it's 520 meters. All the long range shots. Where are they? At the old Wally World, certainly there's long distance shooting here. I mean, I can't see the door. In fact, I can't see the tops of heads walking into Walmart. But let's assume that we could. How far is it from here to Home and Pharmacy? 100 meters to the entrance. 100 meters. Let's walk around this way, see what we can see. So probably hard to pick up there. But from where we're at, there's a Lowe's. 461 meters to the overhang at Lowe's. 460. I see an AutoZone. It's 220 meters. I see an Aldi. 370. And could you imagine taking a shot through this parking lot? Just get in the truck. A little less wind. Could you imagine taking... Now, what kind of long distance are you going to get in the Walmart parking lot? You literally have hard targets or barriers between you and everything. They're every 10 feet. I mean, there's a car, and then there's another car, and then there's another car. But so far, we've still not found a long-range target yet. But we're not done. We're gonna keep hunting. We're gonna find one. You know, and it's not like I was pulling the measurements from, you know, being up close to the building. You know, we got out away from the building as far as we could. You know, getting through here, like there's nothing that's more than 150 meters. Go down here to the Lowe's and see, you know, if maybe coming and looking back the other way, there would have been another better shot. Actually, let's go this way first. No, that wouldn't do nothing. I was thinking, you know, well, maybe behind the shopping center, there would have been something. And getting long range there. You can imagine trying to find an 8x8 target that's not directly behind a piece of cover, let alone concealment. All right, so this is as far away as I can get here in the parking lot. We got tree line right behind us, and from here, I mean, I can see the Walmart building. Can't see the far side, so we'll cheat. And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. 421 meters to what I can see of the Walmart parking lot. 300 meters to the Dollar General. Even getting elevation, we can't find a long range shot. We're gonna find one, right? They gotta be out there. Everybody said they're out there. So maybe we found something, I don't know. We got this nice long straightaway off to my right, and I'm gonna take a measurement to this tree. 417 and 394. Still nothing. If there was ever gonna be a gunfight, it's gotta be at the package store, right? We got a building up here, 75 meters. This one up behind us. This hill, not much further, if at all. 93 meters. Maybe I have a Tango sitting up in the billboard sign, right? 471. If somebody was laying down up there, you're not gonna see them before they take a shot if they're not moving. We're gonna keep looking. Long range, come on. All right, so we got a dam. That could actually be a decent spot, right? To have posted up on. 857 meters. So while that is a long ways away, that's actually on the short side for, you know, really getting into long range shooting. See how long it takes me to get out of the kill zone once I can start moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds going 25 miles an hour. Why would you engage if that's what we can find for long range shooting? Even driving down the highway, like, yes, you can find, even here, a few spots looking down the long axis of a 4-lane highway. I don't have interstates where I'm at. You can find distances of, you know, 1,000 to maybe 1,500 meters if you're up high and you're starting to come down a slope, or if you're looking up a long slope. But what would it take to actually be in a freaking gunfight in that scenario? I mean, like, what kind of crack are we actually feeding ourselves where this is the mentality that becomes so widespread? One of those spots, you know, the next hill over, you know, that's a good chunk, but now I can't see it anymore. But if I'm driving 60 miles an hour, you can help me do my math down in the comments below if I'm 50 shades of jacked up. 60 miles an hour, mile a minute. So every 20 seconds is roughly 300 meters. Most people have a hard time hitting a stationary target at 300 meters. And that's a full size, you know, target. Just trying to hit paper, like not even hit, like no shit center mass. So again, using time and distance to our advantage before we even stop to think, hey, let's get out and shoot some shit. Paint the target! I was sitting looking at a pasture off to my right. See, if I zoom in from here, you might be able to see the cows and the barns. It's about 550 meters. Off to my left, hill off to my left, that's 450 meters. So we might have 950 meters, 1,000 meters from barn all the way to the top of the hill. So if you live there, well then maybe you could stand to argue that somewhere in your barn you should have a rifle capable of taking long range shots. But is that really a battle rifle? So as we saw, there's not a lot of long range targets that are out there. I mean, at best case, you could say that there are more opportunities for medium range targets, right? That the 3 to we'll call it 600 meters. But when you really open it up and begin to look at it and question it, although the areas are open, being able to identify something that is 6 foot tall standing is not that easy to do. Now once they get crunched down a little bit, it's even harder to do. And if they're down in the prone, just like out here, it's even harder to do. But there was a scenario, maybe two, that we looked at that had some legitimate long range opportunities. So then you might say, well, Stoke, look, man, these are out there. Therefore, I need to be able to engage long-range targets. And I would submit to you that you're not wrong, but you're not right. I'm tired of lying to ourselves. That the ability to reach out is something that we have to be able to do. Again, we're talking a everyday battle rifle. The thing that you have on your person all the time. Your go-to weapon system. If your go-to weapon system is something that is designed to reach out and touch a body, then how effective are you going to be at 98 to 99% of the other opportunities, let alone those long-range targets? Odds are you're not going to be very efficient at all. I hate to use this as an example, but it's going to help illustrate and paint the point. Nobody does CQB with a deer rifle. Doesn't mean that things can't be done in a pinch. But why are we deceiving ourselves? Some people heard my arguments to say, well, the perfect battle rifle was the 300 Blackout, and that was not my argument. My argument was close range targets. When I let's say you have one could easily argue that the most popular option out there is just a simple, standard, straightforward M16 styled A2 service weapon with a 16-inch barrel. Probably not the most popular, but it is probably the most well-rounded battle rifle in existence, right? At a 25 meter zero with that 16-inch weapon, you're good out to 300 without doing anything. And you can effectively engage targets at 500 meters. At 500 meters, I would say, is on the cusp of mid-range, on the long part of mid-range, and on the short end of long-range shooting. But out beyond that, man, with the M16, that's all area targets. And even at 500 meters, again, when we're talking iron sights, you know, United States Marine Corps known distance ranges, you are taking your time, engaging, and hoping that you just get black, right? The amount of people that can hit center mass with an M16A2 service weapon at 500 meters is almost non-existent. So don't fool yourself. All you're doing is hitting black. However, comma, pause for dramatic effect. You know, you could say that I need to be able to shoot mid-range, and I would not argue against that. But I would still further tailor the argument of the battle rifle based off of actual engagements throughout history, not least of which the last 20 plus years in the global war on terrorism. The vast majority of targets were under 300 meters. I dare say under 200 meters. So why would we not think about this? And then therefore, if this is going to be your go-to, and still, as I discussed in the first one, you don't need to spend $5,000 on a base rifle, and then $2,000 optic, and then $1,000 or $2,000 in all the Huya Gucci gear, because that's what everybody else does, right? You don't have to do it to be effective. If all you got is $800, dude, you can get yourself a kick-ass battle rifle. Just a stock M16 style platform. Make it an M&P. Dude, you can do it with that. And then you can take all that extra money and maybe put it into some ammunition so that you can go out and train with your rifle. Because I would dare say it would be better to have shot 10,000 rounds and have 1,000 rounds left over than to have shot 1,000 rounds and to have 10,000 in your cache. Tell me what you think about that. I think we may talk about how much ammunition we should have in another video. But team, I am looking forward to your thoughts and your comments about long-range shooting, the applicability of long-range shooting, down in the comments below as we all continue to master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. I would say that a long-range shooting platform certainly has a place in a team. Maybe in every four, maybe not. You know, is the go-to. But certainly in a squad size element, you know, if you got 12 dudes and one person said, hey, you know what, I want to be our DMR, go for it. Just like I would dare say that in that 12-man squad or team, that having 1 to 2 shotguns placed within it would be just as effective, if not, truthfully, more effective. We'll talk about that some more later too. All right, team, I'm gonna get out of here. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked. Team, if you want to master your craft and develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date with future content. Consider becoming a channel member. It's going to give you exclusive access to content not available to anybody else. I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.
We know you're out there! Come to my voice!